Somebody what you do? Hello and welcome back everybody to another episode of Team Yeeeet's YouTube channel. On this episode we're going to be exploring this game called Hubris. It is released right now on the Oculus platform, Steam platform, basically all the platforms. You know, when I was looking at this game, going over the details of it in the MetaQuest platform, it was saying that it won a few awards for best VR game, best desktop game, best XR game. Like all these awards have been given to this game, so I bought it. However, I don't think it lives up to the hype. Yeah, it may have better graphics on the computer if you run the desktop version of this game, but on the Oculus 2 itself, where you just buy it on the MetaQuest platform, it doesn't seem to compare highly against other games that I had played previously. The graphics are alright. If you're looking at this game as a standalone game, it's probably one of the higher ones up there. To put this in context, if you wrap this game up against, let's say, Half-Life Alyx, which I believe it's the most comparable to as far as the gameplay goes, Half-Life Alyx takes the cake all day, hands down. The graphics, the gameplay, everything about it just beats this game unanimously. As far as the gameplay goes in Hubris, it's quite fun. I mean, if you don't have a Steam platform, if you don't have an Oculus that hooks up to your PC, and the next best thing is this game right here, Hubris, well, Hubris is gonna satisfy that need in quite a lot of ways. You know, one of the main things I like about this game is that you can compare it to Half-Life Alyx in the way that you have to search throughout the map and pick up all these items in order to upgrade your gun. And upgrading your gun is going to be essential to getting past some of these enemies that you're going to face. I mean, some of them are extremely strong, and then in other situations, there's a dozen of them. Upgrading that gun is going to be key, which means you need to search for all these little metal, plastic, water pieces that are going to help you transform your gun into something spectacular. And that's what I mean by comparing this game to Half-Life Alyx. I mean, you have to do the same exact thing. You get a variety of weapons in Half-Life Alyx. However, this one you only get one weapon, but you could just transform it into a shotgun, a pistol, or an automatic weapon. And on the screen behind you, you could see this is the upgraded pistol, and without having it been upgraded, it would have been much more challenging to kill these guys. Now, one thing about the combat in this game is that it is very challenging, and that's why you have unlimited ammo. All you have to do is just keep pushing that clip back into your gun, but you're gonna have to do a lot of blind firing in this game in order to get past it. You see how I'm hiding behind every little corner and every little box? Well, that's because they hit me quite often. Their accuracy and aiming is way better than mine is in this game, and they hurt me every chance that they get, and you constantly have to heal yourself. That's why looking for items in this game, like food items and plants and things like that, it's going to be essential for you to get past it. Now, before we get any further, I want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed already, and for those of you who have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get some engagement going on. We just passed 6,000 subscribers, which is just amazing, so thank you all so much for wanting to help our channel grow and expand. If you would like access to our VR library and get 25% off any purchase that you make using our referral codes, please sign up as a member, go into the community channel, and there you will find all those referral codes where you get 25% off all of your purchases, and use these videos to help you make an informed decision on which games you want to purchase. If you don't want to sign up as a member, that's up to you, perfectly fine. Just subscribe to the channel, help support us grow, and let's get back to the game. So on the screen you can see that I'm using this welding gun to try and solder these wires back together. I learned that you don't actually need that gun later on in the game. You only use it that one time. So after you use it, throw it in that machine and get some extra points to upgrade your weapon. It's going to be beneficial. Now, these little purple things here that fly around, those are shields. So the only way to get past those shields is you gotta throw those little batteries at them to disable those shields, and then you can destroy the flying ships. Now we have some turrets Now the turrets are quite challenging to beat. However, you don't ever face them head on. You have to find a way around them and get them from behind, or use an object to destroy them. They don't have any bombs in this game. However, if you do upgrade your shotgun all the way, it does have this ability to shoot bombs, guided missiles, if you will, to destroy those from a long distance. Now here is a cool scene where you get to become like a doctor. You put on these medical goggles, and then you have to remove that sliver that was in that lady's leg. And be careful, because I made the mistake of pulling that sliver out and throwing it right at my feet, and I ended up dying. So that sliver is quite explosive. In this loft area, you can also find this garden, and this garden has quite a few vegetables or plants or whatever they are that will end up healing you. You can't eat them straight up. You have to go put them in a processing machine right there, and you could make combinations of food items. Now there is this machine here that will juice items for you using this canister, and this is actually the preferred method for everybody. You should always do it this way. Don't use that other machine that will bake some desserts for you. You want to use this juicer. The reason is because it puts it in this canister, and this canister can actually be recycled into parts to upgrade your weapon. So it may not heal you as fast, and it may not be as beneficial as the other one. However, it will give you benefits when upgrading your weapon. So use this, okay? Don't waste your food going and trying to make some baked goods, okay? Now let's jump on back over to the combat of this game. Now there's a variety of enemies, but they all seem to be one species, and that's okay. I mean, there are like these ticks and some underwater creatures like jellyfish and things like that, but I felt that it left out this piece where there's like bosses and things like that. Really, there's only one really challenging person or enemy that you need to defeat, and it's like a humanoid, but it has a little bit of armor on him, and he shoots electricity at you, or from a distance he shoots grenades at you. And to be honest, I wasn't too satisfied with that. I would have loved to go up against a boss or some sort of really challenging creature as something, but they left that element out of this game, which is quite disappointing. I mean, even if they made that lady that you fool around, or her robot friend that you end up building, like if they became enemies and started turning on you and attacking you, like that would have been amazing. But nothing happened. You just fight a ton of enemies. I mean, it does keep it entertaining, but at the same time, it just would have been nice. Now, it may seem like I've just talked a lot of negative things about this game, but there are a few more things that I want to talk about, and that's the swimming and also the climbing in this game. So certain parts, it makes you swim, and the swimming in this game, it's just not enjoyable. I mean, there's too much of it, and you're constantly waving your hands, and it gets exhausting playing this game. Another part is when you have to climb, and you have to jump and grab onto something. Well, something about it, maybe it's glitchy or it just doesn't connect right, but you jump and you try and grab onto a cliff or a pipe or something like that, and it just doesn't grab it. It doesn't grab it, and then you fall to your death and have to restart. And then that's another thing about this. You don't restart anywhere near where you just were. If you get pretty far and the save point was way behind you, you're going to go back way behind you. I mean, there's not a frequent save point. So when you die and you get frustrated. Now, it may seem like I'm just talking a lot of negatives about this game. Let's focus on the positives here for a minute. As I mentioned, it is quite fun. It's just like Half-Life Alyx. And you have unlimited ammo, so you could just go crazy and shoot every little thing you want without a care for having to go find resources to reload your gun and things like that. Another thing about this game is the environmental elements of this game. Like, they did a great job creating this in a alien world. You really do feel like you're immersed in this alien planet trying to explore, and you're on a spaceship and things like that. Like, that part is actually pretty good. It took me about 5 hours to beat this game. Now, the reason why it took me that long is because I was searching for every nook and cranny, looking for all the metal pieces. And the reality is, you don't really need to find all the pieces of trash and metal, because once you upgrade a weapon fully, like the shotgun or the automatic weapon, you're only really going to use that weapon for the remainder of the game. I did try swapping them out towards the end, where I switched from the automatic over to the shotgun. Shotgun has its advantages and the automatic has its advantages, but the one disappointing thing about that is you can't interchange them while you're actually in a gunfight. So do yourself a favor, upgrade one weapon fully, and then just stick with it, and then you can actually focus on the main storyline rather than having to go searching for every little thing. It's going to make it a little bit more enjoyable. Now here is one of those really strong guys that I was talking about earlier, and you can see that I have to get quite some distance from him, but he's shooting these grenades at me even though we're quite far away. Now you have to stay away, because if you get close to him, he shoots this electricity thing at you and you basically die instantly. So get some distance. Using a shotgun on this guy is not recommended. However, if that's the only weapon you have at that time, you're gonna have to do some sort of sneaky maneuvers or use that grenade enhancement, which you only get on the final stage of the shotgun. Now here's a pretty cool scene in the game where you have to build this box or this coffin-like thing, and then what ends up happening is you cut some holes in it and then the robot pops out that helps you get through a couple doors. I believe he's a robot friend to that lady who's one of the main characters, and it's like an illegal robot or whatever. Interesting storyline, but he doesn't do anything for you really, and you can't really interact with him. So that's a little bit disappointing. So let's skip over that and go on to one of the more exciting parts of this game. You get to drive this speed car. Now I really enjoy this. In a lot of games where you have to drive something, you get a little sick playing VR. This one is not the case, and I wish there was more of this in the game, but it's just a short scene where you have to drive through some tunnels and then you go into this gorge right here. But that part was really fun and I really enjoyed it. Now once you get to this room where it's yellow and things like that, that's it. That's the end of this game. I mean, there's not going to be too much more action. This part was a little bit challenging to get through. There's a bottom level and then you go upstairs and then it's a little bit more challenging. Not a whole lot of areas for you to hide in. Expect to die quite a lot. But after this is over, then the game is over. You meet up with the lady, which you'll see here in just a moment. There she is on the elevator. And you go into this room with a bunch of enemies. You hide behind a shield, and then she pushes them off the cliff, and that's it. All done. Your teammates activate some sort of rock launcher thing, and it launches up out of the ground and shoots into that spaceship, and game over. You fly off into the credits. So, a little bit disappointing how this game ended. I wasn't really expecting it to end this way. I didn't see that lady do very much at all, except for this little scene right here where she protected me. I would have loved to seen her do some more things with her cool abilities, but that just wasn't the case. Overall, I probably would not recommend this game to purchase. I mean, if you do want to, as I mentioned earlier, you can sign up as a member, get that referral code to get that 25% off, because trust me, it's worth getting a discount on this game. I would not recommend it to anybody who wants to spend a lot of time in VR, because this is a short-lived game. I would not want to go back and play it over again. I basically did every little thing there was to do. I don't see any desire to go back at all. I apologize if I didn't have a good review of this game, but sadly it just did not deserve a good review. But alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, hit that like, hit subscribe, see some more games, get an idea of what they're like before you purchase them. And thank you so much for watching.